Hey guys, welcome back to Ironing Out the Kinks podcast. You're with Luke.
And Chelsea.
Happily married couple talking what?
I tried so hard not to do like a little E at the end there and it just fucking came out.
Okay, can I finish?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, fucking hell. Happily married couple talking about all things sexy, kinky, fun, and just giving you general advice and whatnot. Chelsea tried to do something there. It failed miserably. So yeah, that's a good start. That's a good start to this.
Well, I think like 2 episodes now you've commented on how I
it's just
do a little
funny.
E at
It's
the
just
end.
funny. So guys, we are obviously on Patreon now. We know we beat the drum and we won't stop because it's extra content for you. It's £3 a month, which is genuinely nothing. I bought bin bags today and it was more than that.
Do you know what, actually? Last week after you edited the episode and I was listening to it back, you said £3 a month, you get an extra episode. You actually get 4 extra episodes a month.
Did I not say a week?
No, you just kind of stopped it there.
Oh, did
so
I?
Just to clarify, 4 episodes a month, 1 a week, every Sunday.
And it brightens your Sunday. We had somebody message us saying it brightens their Sunday.
Some months have 5 Sundays. So you'll even get a little bonus episode some months.
That's crazy. So yeah, sign up. Get onto Patreon, search Ironing Out the Kinks, £3 a month. Simple as that, okay? And let's just get on with it. I think people know Patreon exists now. We will talk about it all the time because this is where we need you to go and get your extra content from. But let's get on with it.
Okay, so I actually want to talk about something before we roll into the episodes.
Okay. You'd always surprise me with this. I feel like I need to be better prepared because I'm on the back foot.
I'm really surprising you with this one.
Okay.
This is something I'd usually bring to you in private, but I thought let's bring the followers along for this as well.
Oh God, what?
I've had a discovery.
Okay.
And I've had a potential idea for a kink I would like us to explore.
Right.
You look so
I'm
worried.
troubled. Okay.
So as everyone knows, I have a bit of a degradation, cuckoldy type kink, which involves bringing somebody else into the bedroom, watching Luke fuck them. Sometimes I get involved, sometimes I don't. I just sit and watch. And we've kind of said, I've kind of said most of the legs off of that, kind of not hugely into.
Yeah.
Quite specific. A leg off of it has piqued my interest.
Okay.
Okay. So when we set up threesomes,
Yes.
I'm always the one that finds the person, talks to the person. You just kind of show up with your dick in your hand ready to go.
Basic. I want to put so much more into that. I want to be like, no, I'm way more involved. I'm not. You show me a picture and you're like, happy? And I'm like, yeah, they're very attractive. And you're like, good. They're down to fuck. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. And I obviously still want to keep that
Dynamic.
That dynamic of us. However, I kind of like the idea of finding a third.
Yeah.
Being in a group chat with them, but being silent.
Okay.
Luke is very good with his words via texting. It's how we would sexually communicate for quite some time when we were long distance.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of being the third person in the group chat, watching you two sexting, sending pictures, sending videos back and forth, getting each other off, and then eventually, reaching climax. And I just can't say anything but be in another room while this is going on, watching this back and forth, knowing that you both are enjoying it. And I'm just there being pathetic little wife.
I mean, okay, if I must, I suppose we can do that. How do we set this up?
I don't know. If anyone's listening that wants to be this third,
I think we've got listeners. We've got listeners that want to be the third. We know that.
If you listen to this, drop us a DM and maybe we could arrange it. But
I know we're going to get the DM. This episode launches 8:00 on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
DM by like 15 minutes past 8. That's not because of me. That's because of you. Everyone wants to fuck you.
I'm not going to be involved in this.
No, but you will be.
I'll be in the other room touching myself.
Exactly. You're in the room. Okay, that's interesting because we've talked about that before.
Yeah, we have.
That is a thing. If you look at like cut queening and things like that, people love the idea of their husband or partner messaging another woman, quote unquote, behind their back.
See, that's what I I don't particularly like, because I want to be involved or kind of want to know what's going on. But I like this idea because it is essentially cucking from a distance.
Yeah.
And, you know, the videos and the pictures going back and forth, I can see how like hot you're both getting under the collar, and then you're eventually going to make each other come. And I'm just there like watching.
Would you like it to just kind of spring up? So we're just chilling one evening on the sofa, and then I just hop on the phone, and then yours goes off, and it's like...
I think we're more of an arranged thing, which, you know, is not totally sexy.
Saturdays only. Okay.
But like when they're free and not doing anything at home by themselves, and, you know, that's hot to me. They'll get their toys out, they'll use their hands, they'll send videos and pictures. You'll send videos and pictures. You know, you'll have your dominance there and telling them what to do. Send me a picture looking like this, and calling them a little slut, and look how hard you're making me, and sending them pictures, and I'm just there like...
Okay, yeah, we can definitely arrange that.
You look really like flushed.
It's been a little while since we've done anything like this, just because of circumstances, and, you know, life's very hectic for us. So it's been a little while since I've stepped up to that plate.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that you and I, you know, we live together, we're with each other as much as we can be, work sort of aside. So we don't do a lot of dirty texting anymore. You know,
because we're with each other in the evenings when
so I'll just whisper it in your
urge.
ear. But yeah, no, we can do that.
Cool.
I think that's definitely something we can explore, and then we can talk about it on here.
Yeah, which actually brings me to what we've been discussing behind scenes.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
We might as well just tell you what it is now, because we're not 100% sure whether it's going in the main episode or the Patreon episode, but we're thinking of putting a bit of a poll out there each month with a couple of kinks on there that we haven't tried or hasn't even tickled our fancy before, and having you guys vote. And we're going to go away and explore it, try it, come back and
give
review.
feedback.
Yeah, feedback.
Yeah.
Feedback week.
I think we probably will put that on the Patreon. But that will come maybe sooner rather than later, but we'll discuss. We've got a lot of things. We've got a lot of pokers in the fire, you know, so we've got a lot of different things that we're trying to do. We're trying to push on with. And now I've got to up my texting game again.
Yeah. You need to brush up.
Yeah. I need to, you know, get back, you know, out in the sun, because I'm so busy I don't get any sunlight.
Get your dick out in the sun.
No, I just need a tan. I don't want someone to see my pasty legs.
We'll fake tan you beforehand. It'll be fine.
I've never done
just
that
see
before.
These yellow little trotters in the, at the bottom of the picture.
Yellow trotter? Why are they yellow?
I don't know.
What? This isn't The Simpsons. Okay, we'll definitely do that.
We'll report back.
Yeah, and we'll find somebody, or somebody will find us, one way or the other. But we'll make that happen for sure.
Cool. So you want to roll into Naughty Corner now?
Naughty Corner, please.
Alrighty. So, hi guys. This is not particularly naughty or sexy, so I apologise in advance. I've never asked for help with this, so don't really know where to start. I have genital herpes and was diagnosed last year. I don't know who, where it came from, and I suppose that doesn't really matter. I was so upset when the doctors told me and felt almost violated by the idea that someone had possibly known and still decided they were going to have sex with me. They also may not have known. I just want to do a trigger warning now. This next part talks about SA slightly. So if you're not comfortable listening to that, you can skip through. I've been raped a couple of times where I assume they didn't use a condom. I don't know, so it may have been then. Regardless, I don't blame anyone. They may not have known, and it takes two. My question, if you feel like you can answer, is how do I navigate this? When do I tell people? Do I need to not really be having sex anymore? How do I not feel so dirty with it? Especially when it may have come from someone who assaulted me, which doesn't make me feel particularly jolly to begin with. I know you probably don't want to advise on the medical side, which is okay. I just want a little bit of help with the rest. The doctors made it out like it wasn't a big deal and I shouldn't worry, but I didn't think they gave a lot of guidance. And a fair bit of what I can find online is quite scaremongering and not very helpful. Thank you for any help you can give. Just wanted to chat about it. That's not on a screen and not black and white medical. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's a tough one. That's not tough because of the topic that you kind of brought, but it's tough with everything surrounding it, and that's really yeah.
So firstly, I'm really sorry that you've gone through that, but I think the main thing I want to really push here is you're not dirty. Do not be ashamed of it. I kind of known the stats on this for a while, but I did want to go and just 100% make sure I'm getting the stats right. So I just want to say this quickly before we kind of talk about anything off of that. So 70% of adults carry some form of this virus. That's 1 in 6 people between the ages of 14 and 50 will carry the herpes virus. 80 to 90% of them people don't know they have it due to no symptoms showing. And even if your symptoms aren't showing, you can still pass it on. So when you say that it may have come from someone who knew they had it and didn't want to disclose it, that's not always necessarily true. And then another part, which I think is a bit of a grey area, a bit of a myth area, but this is the truth here. So oral herpes can affect 2/3 of the population. That's a staggeringly high number.
That's a massive number.
And oral herpes can be something as simple as cold sores.
Yeah.
So parents get cold sores, teachers get cold sores, not everyone gets cold sores, but 2/3 of the population have a form of oral herpes. And again, 80 to 90% may be completely asymptomatic.
Yeah.
So not show symptoms. And oral herpes can be transmitted during oral sex also. So there's a lot of grey area on people thinking if someone's got oral herpes, they can only transfer it oral to oral, but they can't. So if someone with a cold sore goes down on you, you can also contract genital herpes that way.
I thought
and
they were
vice
two different
versa.
viruses.
No, they're not.
I thought it was 1 and 2.
So you have got 1 and 2. So this isn't saying which one of the 1 and 2. It's just kind of broadly saying. So it depends on which one they have.
Yeah.
But I just want to kind of put them stats out there because I think the stigma of herpes is so unfair when it's such a vast number of the population
So
that
many
carry
people
it.
have it, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel, I don't know how you feel, but I hope that might make you feel a little bit more, you're not alone in this.
Yeah, I think it's something you got to come to terms with over time, as with anything. And I can understand what you're saying with the I feel violated in a way, because it isn't nice. But you've not done anything wrong. There's just something's happened, and the way we move forward with that is kind of it's acceptance, which is a bullshit thing to say. Like, you got to accept it because that's fucking stupid. It takes a while to grow into acceptance, but when you do, it's very manageable from what I know.
Yeah.
There's antiviral medication that you'll be able to get, and if you're in the UK with the NHS, you can just get that whenever you need it. You can take, I think it's 1 tablet a day, and then that should help keep any flare-ups at ease.
Something as well, the flare-ups that everyone will have flare-ups in different areas and different levels of flare-up, and they obviously say not to have sex during a flare-up, but I think a lot of the misconception that people who are initially diagnosed with it, they don't know a lot about it, can think, well, I can never have sex again, and if I do have sex again, I've got to disclose it immediately. And you don't. If you're not having a flare-up,
no,
you don't have to disclose it again. You don't have to wear condoms for the rest of your life. You should if you're having partners that aren't quite
casual.
Yeah,
we'll say casual.
Yeah, and obviously it'll be a conversation to have if and when you decide to settle down with someone. But I'd hope they'd be super understanding of it, and if they're not, then they're not for you.
Yeah, I think there's, like you say, there's a lot of stigma behind it. I think personally, there's a thing where you should, I don't think it's a problem to necessarily bring up fairly early on.
Yeah.
I think if you're dating somebody, I would want to know, I would want to be that person who tells somebody, I don't think it's that big of a deal. You just have to say, it's not going to be like you think it is. I just have to take some medication. Sometimes I might not be able to have sex for a few days.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it, you know. But I understand what you mean with the going back to like the violation thing, because when I got COVID, I had COVID loads. I felt like someone had spat in my mouth, you know, just to bring a little bit of humour back to this.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking up now because I thought I'd seen this. There is like dating sites for people with herpes.
Okay.
So positivesingles.com. So it's one of those things where it can affect so many people, and it's a real thing where you think like in your head, I don't know, this is such a bad thing to think. But when I was younger, it would be like, oh, that's just sex workers and people like that. That's South Park that did that to me. That is, but it's not. It can just be anybody. I know mates who I've seen. That's how I know about the antiviral medication, because I've seen their like tablets and been, oh, what's this? And they're like, oh yeah, mate, yeah, I've got herpes. It flares up sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh really? And they're like, yeah, just take these and it pretty much keeps it at bay, and it's sweet.
Yeah.
That's how I know, because like two of them I can think of are married and like their partners are sound with it.
Yeah.
They just told them and they were like, that's how it is. And they were
And
like, cool.
that's what I mean. If it's the right person, then it's not a big deal. It's not like, you know, saying something like HIV is obviously completely different and so much bigger, but it's not like a really huge life-altering thing that you bring into the table. It's just, you know, I
think it's kind of just
minor complication.
Aesthetic. You know, it's uncomfortable from what I know.
Yeah.
But it's aesthetic, really. Like, obviously it's not ideal and nobody would want that. But I don't think beating yourself up and saying things like I can never have sex again and putting yourself in the position where you're now feeling less than, because you're absolutely not less than. There is nothing wrong with you. Okay, there is nothing wrong with you. Again, like Chelsea said, if you saw somebody with a cold sore, would you be like, oh, well, they can't ever kiss anybody ever again? Yeah. You'd be like, oh, they got a cold sore. Apparently you shouldn't kiss people when you've got cold sores.
Yeah. Did you know actually about cold sores as well, when I was doing my little research? The vast majority of people with cold sores are contacted through their childhood, not through their adulthood.
I know exactly that, because my brother gets cold sores. Yeah. And he got it as a baby.
Because someone kissed him. Yeah.
What kind of a stupid person does that? Well, and that's really dangerous for children and babies.
It is, and it's peddled hugely now, but it wasn't so much when we were younger. No. One thing I think will help you, I obviously follow a huge amount of sex accounts, sexual wellness, relationships, vagina accounts, you name it, I follow them. And when I read this submission, I immediately went like beelines to my TikTok, and I was TikTok, and I thought, I know I follow herpes advocators.
So you go.
So there's two I follow. So I'll tell you what the names are in a sec, but you might want to jump on their page, because they are constantly posting content to destigmatize herpes, basically. So on TikTok, you've got the Yoni nutritionalist.
Say that again slowly.
Yoni, as in the word for vagina. Nutritionalist.
When's yoni a word for vagina?
Yoni's a word for vagina.
Okay, yoni.
More in like the airy-fairy kind of hippie world. I'm sure it has some meaning, and I'm absolutely slaughtering that.
Yeah, you really offended a lot of people there.
And the other one is, oh God, Suzzbub.
Jesus Christ.
So SUZBUB. But they're both huge advocates with millions and millions of likes. And they are a support network for women and men with herpes. So I would definitely recommend going to jump over to that. And off the back of that, I know there are a lot of online support groups as well, you know, on Facebook and, you know, little lady communities that crop up here, there and everywhere. So definitely take a look at them, and hopefully it will make you feel less alone in this. Yeah. And people are sharing their stories all the time, and I'm sure you'll completely relate to them.
I think that's the main thing. It's seeing the relatability, seeing other people's accounts and being like, oh, okay, yeah, this is really, really common. It's the thing of, just slightly different, but it's when somebody says, oh, I've got this certain type of disease, and you're like, oh, really? And they're like, yep, there's charities for it. Like, there was a guy I saw today, he's one of two people, the first people to go across the Alps in wheelchairs.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think it's a muscular
skeletal.
No, not musculoskeletal. It's like a muscular waist disease.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And I'd never heard of it, and then I had a little look, and I was like, Jesus, it's huge, you know, and that's where people bringing awareness and stuff is really important, because like that is, it's not necessarily ignorance, it's just lack of education in that area because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But this is something people know about, and there is the stigma, but that will over time disappear. I promise you it will. And especially with people like that on TikTok doing,
and they're just
fucking
who
the
that
Lord's
I
work
definitely know of. There is a guy as well, and I couldn't find his bloody profile for the life of me. But like I said, they're just two that I know about. So I'm sure there's a lot more out there. And please, for the love of God, stop Googling.
Oh,
Google
God.
will literally tell you have 3 days left. Just stop.
Yeah.
These
Don't go on
support
Reddit,
groups.
places like that, because that's very opinion based.
Yeah.
You want people who are in the same boat, paddling in the same direction, and they're pushing positivity. Because, like I say, I'm not trying to downplay how you're feeling in any way, I promise you. But it's something that's uncomfortable, aesthetic, and a little bit awkward to talk about the first time when you're getting into a relationship with somebody.
Right.
There's a lot worse things that we could be doing. And again, I'm not trying to downplay it, but what I'm trying to say is it's not, once we come to that acceptance piece, like I said, my mates who I've had conversations with in the past, they're just like, yep, just one of those things, just got to deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just how it is. And yeah, it's like you will be okay, and it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. You are fine. Just find that positivity. Get off Google. Don't bring it around people who have that negativity with it, because it's just, you're never going to get the what you need from it, which is just a positive, reassuring hand around the shoulder, tell you it's okay, and moving on.
That's it. Sending you big virtual hugs. And if I absolutely butchered the pronunciation of them accounts, pop us a message and I'll send it over. You happy with that?
I am happy.
Cool. Moving over to the next one.
Good luck to the last person.
Who's
I didn't say
on to
anything
me?
nice. No, I didn't say anything nice. And I actually really, like you say, I want to give him a hug and tell him it's okay.
Yeah.
You hit us up on the DMs if you want to talk about it more. All right? I'm happy to talk to you more about this.
For sure. Okay, next one is, I'm a 34-year-old woman and have been dating my partner, he's 37, for about 8 months now. We're currently long distance, but we spend time together every day on Discord. In fact, we leave the call running overnight so we can sleep together virtually.
Cute.
we every now and then we fell asleep on the phone.
I fell asleep on the phone because I'd had too many Guinnesses.
The thing is, I always go to bed before him because of our work schedules, and lately something's been bothering me. He has this habit of waking me up by calling my name, sometimes multiple times, and telling me I was having a nightmare. He says stuff like, you were tossing and turning, or you sounded scared, and then starts comforting me. Now, there was a stretch of time where I was genuinely having night terrors. It was linked to a medication I was on, and I appreciated him being there for me. But outside of that period, before and after, I've been fully aware that I wasn't having nightmares. It kept happening, so I started second-guessing myself, like, am I having nightmares and just not remembering? Because I do have a habit of gaslighting myself, so I decided to test it. I started pretending to fall asleep, eyes closed, breathing steadily, just to see what would happen. And sure enough, he still woke me up from these so-called nightmares, even though I was 100% awake and completely still. It's left me feeling manipulated. I don't understand what he's getting from it. Is it attention? Is it a weird way of him showing care? Because to me, it just feels like emotional puppeteering, and it's frustrating. I already struggle with getting restful sleep, and now I'm being woken up over things that aren't even real. And it's not just this. He tells other small lies too. Like one morning, he went on about how my cat lay in front of my laptop and watched a movie all the way through, which he said was adorable. But I was awake enough to hear him stop the movie 15 minutes in. Why lie about that? It's like these harmless but oddly constructive fabrications keep showing up for no reason. So is this something deeper? Is he trying to create moments of care, or is it more manipulative than that? Because right now I feel weirdly gaslit in my own relationship, and I'm not even sure why.
Look, you've answered it for us.
Yeah.
Little lies like that is the way somebody starts to like build a picture of deceit.
It's almost like he's pushing his luck to see how much he can get away with.
Yeah, and sometimes people are just compulsive in that. Some people will just be dishonest, and it's It's a bit odd, but yeah, the fact that he's gaslighting you with these nightmares. Because initially I was like, well, I wake you up sometimes when I hear you doing your little squeaks in your sleep. I think if it was just him waking you up, which is a piss take when you're not very good at sleeping and you need to get up for work, I would almost say like he probably just misses you a bit, you know, like that you've gone to bed before me and he's still full of energy and he's like, still not okay, but it's not like manipulative. But with all the little things, with the little lies, with the gaslighting, I would be like, this person maybe isn't who you think they are. And that's not that they've got a fucking false name or anything, you know, they're not James Bond. But I don't really think that somebody who's just going to say silly little lies, like I say, it builds a picture for deceit. I've been in a relationship where somebody used to tell silly little lies.
Have you?
Yeah. And then it turned into big little lies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was basically building that picture for deceit. It was building these things happen around me kind of thing. Like, I know things are strange, but that's just how my life is. You know, that's how it is. And it's the gaslighting. And then you start to do exactly that. You start to think, yeah, maybe am I being fucking sensitive? Am I being crazy? Is this normal?
Yeah.
And so many people can smash pots and pans by the side of your head telling you to wake up, and you're like, no, I'm right.
That's the problem. When you are starting to be gaslit, it's kind of a snowball effect from there, isn't it? They don't just leave you in that state of like minor gaslighting. It just keeps going on and on.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, my mind was going all over the place there, because we all know, I'm sure we all know, one or two compulsive liars in our life.
Yep.
You know, there's people out there. And, you know, I've known some compulsive liars that were started with small compulsive lies because that's just what they do. And then they turn into big ones, and they'll wreck someone's life in that small interim period with them lies. But also, one thing I do want to say here is, unless they are a really horrible person and a bad person, not all compulsive liars are really bad people. They're just stuck in the perpetual state of living in a world where they can't tell the truth.
Yeah.
So,
do you think it's like a boredom thing? Not like a boredom, but like boredom of life. Like,
no, I think everyone has different levels of imagination. Like, everyone's brain's completely wired differently, and I think it's just a slight bend between like morality, and a slight bend between imagination, and a slight bend between delusion, all of a couple of things. Because at the end of the day, a compulsive liar in their mind thinks when they're lying, they're totally getting away with it, and everyone's lapping up their bullshit. And we're all sitting there going, why are they lying again? But
that's what happens when you don't call them out.
Yes, I agree. But also, some people can be called out time and time again and they can't stop.
This is true.
So this is what I mean. It doesn't mean they're a really bad person, but sometimes you will get really bad people who are compulsive liars. It goes hand in hand. But my advice here is, they seem like a compulsive liar. And that's not to go on again and say compulsive liars can't have healthy relationships. But my advice would be, call him out now. Yeah. If you're happy and fine with being with someone who will probably tell white lies for the most of their life, which is absolutely, you know, cool if that's what you're comfortable with. You
got to keep him in check, though.
Yeah, you need to let him know.
I know you're chatting shit. I know the bullshit.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, the bigger ones come, and I promise you, and then you start to think, well, that's not impossible. That what they're saying isn't impossible. It's just not, it's not realistic. But then it's the thing of the boy who cried wolf. That's why I've got a thing about honesty. Like, I know I could tell you, we'll be married to the day we die. Mm-hmm. We could be 30 years down the line and I tell you a lie and you'll never believe me again. Even though I spent 30 years telling you the truth. If I tell you a lie, you won't trust me again.
Yeah.
You know? So I endeavour to do my absolute best to tell you the truth.
The problem is, though, there are some people out there who will keep trusting over and over again after lies. And when I've been surrounded by, and in relationships as well, with multipliers. And the problem is, if you don't tell them what you know is real and what's not, you'll start living in their delusion bubble, and you'll start, if you go along with their lie and don't tell them, you'll almost start believing that's true. And then, like you say, when the bigger lies come, then you're like, oh, you're so fucking far ghastly, you just don't know what's real and what's not. So
my other advice, and maybe I don't know whether this is good advice or bad advice, I don't know, but it's my advice. If that's the kind of habits he's displaying, stop sleeping on calls with him. Just be like, look, if I'm having nightmares, I want to have nightmares. Currently, you waking me up is fucking my sleep up more than nightmares, and I need to sleep. That's
it. Unless you're having like terrible night terrors.
But you kind of know you're having a night terror. You know if you are, because you'd wake up and be like, fuck. Even if you can't remember what just happened, heart rate's up, you're a little bit like, what?
That's it.
What's happening?
I used to have night terrors really, really bad for years. And I'd say I'd wake up 1 in 10.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I just wake up in the morning and be like, fuck me, last night was wild, but I didn't wake up during it. So yeah, do that. That's a good idea. You say you're not very well rested at the moment and you're needing sleep, then go get your sleep and stay on the call to him a couple of times a week.
Yeah. And yeah, I just feel like I don't want to say like enabler behavior, but it's giving him opportunity to tell these stupid little lies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the more opportunity you give him, the more like, if he is that kind of person that you've kind of said there, Charles, like he's a fantasist a little bit, just like a small time, he's sat in a room of silence, he's going to start having ideas of little lies he can tell to make life a bit more interesting. That was the kind of thing I was talking about with the boredom. Because that's always kind of struck me. It's like, somebody who's a liar would be like, I was on a train for 3 hours and you never guess what happened. You're like, nothing happened on the train. Shut up. Just be bored on a train like the rest of us. It's cool to just get in and be like, yeah, nothing happened. It was fucking boring, but I'm here now, But yeah, I think we beat that one to death.
Cool. Last one.
Oh, we got another one.
We have one more.
Okay.
So for our entire relationship, my boyfriend has always been the dominant one in bed. He leads everything. He chooses the positions, sets the pace, and honestly, sometimes if I suggest something, he'll turn it down. And over time, I just kind of settled into a more submissive role. Now, I'll admit, I'm terrible at being on top. My knees are awful, and I never last long up there. I take full accountability for that. So I've been happy letting him take the lead and do what feels best for him, especially since he's always seemed to enjoy being the more active one. But recently, I found out he feels like I don't put any work in during sex. And it's kind of shaken me. I thought we had a good dynamic, one that worked for us, but now I'm second guessing myself and feeling really insecure about my performance in bed. So, real talk. For those in a more submissive role or with partners who like to lead, how do you make sure that you're still contributing? How do I keep my partner feeling wanted, appreciated and satisfied, even if I'm not the one doing all the thrusting? Because right now I feel like maybe I wasn't doing enough when I genuinely thought I was.
Okay, that's confused me.
Yeah.
It's like an oxymoron in my head.
Right.
I want to be dominant. I want to decide everything. You don't get a choice. I'm doing this. I want to be the person who's fucking you. This sounds very similar to us. You rarely go on top because I don't like it.
Yeah.
But
my knees.
Yeah. But to say that you're not doing enough, what can you really do other than be an active participant, which is like grabbing, talking, doing the things that he tells you to? But if he's just like, lay down, spread your legs, fucking, you're a little whore for me, this is what we're doing, what do you want? Yeah. As a dom, as someone who is a dom, you are in a position where you set the rules, you set everything. If I'm having sex with you and I'm saying things to you that are like, I'm giving you dirty talk, I kind of expect it back. I'm setting that rule. If I'm just quiet and just fucking you, or if I tell you to shut up, you just do what I say. You follow my lead.
Yeah.
So to turn around and be like, I'm gonna set everything up. You do what I say. Why aren't you doing stuff that I didn't say? Like, why aren't you giving me extra? If he's dominant, if he's a dom, it's kind of on him to be like, do what I say. I don't know, like get a toy, put it on your clit. Like tell me how good that feels.
I think here she doesn't tell us what she does during sex, if you know what I mean. So it's funny because our immediate thoughts have gone two different places. So yours has gone to that, like he's the dom.
Yeah,
why is he asking her to perform? Which I agree. However, it takes two people to dance. If she
she's got her legs open. I don't know what else you want.
Okay, so when we're having sex, you're the dominant one and you're choosing the positions and you're choosing the pace, etc. like this guy is. Whether you're tuned into it or not, I'm still trying to match your thrusts. I'm still like pulling my leg up. I'm still like running my fingers through your hair and bringing my hand down your back and holding like your thigh and stuff. Like and this is what I mean. She hasn't really told us what she does during sex. So if she was like, I do what I can, I match his thrust, I touch him, like, but she hasn't said that. She just kind of says, from what I'm gathering, she just lays here. Like there's even like moaning. Is she doing this or is she just literally allowing the sex to happen? Because maybe that's what he wants from it. Because we need to look from both points of views here. Yeah. Is he saying like you're literally doing nothing during sex because she's just laying there until the sex is over kind of thing? We don't know. So that's where my head initially went. So I'm probably thinking in our dynamic, like I'm already taking those things for granted, I guess. I imagine she is. I imagine she's enjoying it and like... Is she? Because we've had submissions from men in the past that have said their partner literally just lays there. How can he get her to do more things? And it's not, he's not saying take control and, he's saying I need something more from you here, basically. He's not specifying what it is and she's not specifying what she does. But that was my initial reaction. I guess when I'm sort of thinking about that, when I think about that, I'm imagining like doggy style. And like, do you know how nice it is when you reach through your legs and just play with my balls when I'm fucking you from behind? I didn't need to tell you to do that. That's kind of, you're already in a submissive position. You're on all fours getting fucked from behind. I am in control of everything there. Yeah. But you to kind of put in that little bit more and that little bit extra, it doesn't hurt. I can see that. But I still think, I don't know, for me, I want to set the stall. If we're going to do something, I set it up. Even if it's like, if you just laid there, I would talk to you afterwards and be like, Chelsea, like in future, like I want you to want me. I want you to like be like craving me as I fuck you. And if in her position, you'd be like, oh, I've been doing what I'm told. I'm really sorry. I understand that now. That's cool. Kind of communication, I think. Mm-hmm. But I think it's maybe a part for both of them to play. I think it's a one for a discussion. Communicate, guys. Yeah, I think you need to talk to him and say, what do you mean? Because you haven't really given us the thing. It's a little bit... It's a bit vague, ambiguous, isn't it? Yeah, a little bit like, I've recently found out that's how he feels. How did you find that out? Did he tell you? And if he told you, I'm sure he would have given you some sort of feedback. We're not coming at you, by the way. We've got to do due diligence and make sure that we... cover all bases, cover all angles. We are not experts in this. So, we just give our opinions. So she gave her story, and then her questions were, for those more submissive, with partners who like to lead, how do you make sure you're still contributing? So kind of what I said there, make him still feel desired. Yeah. Like I might like fucking bite your forearm, or I might like pull your hips into me deeper, or I'll play with my tits almost so you can sit and watch, or that's almost how I'm contributing by laying on my back. Verbally as well. Verbally, moaning, saying things, saying you feel so good, or anything like that. That's how I'd say to contribute when you're literally lying on your back. And then she said, how do I keep my partner feeling wanted and appreciated even if I'm not the one doing thrusting? It depends. There's a lot to that. Yeah. Does he enjoy oral? Do you do oral? Does he like seeing you put on a show? Like, sex isn't just penetration. We say that a lot. And the penetration part is obviously mainly on the man unless it's like a cowgirl position. So are you having enough foreplay that's making him feel really desired, like you're fucking aching for him to be inside you?
And yeah, I guess things like when it's getting close to finishing, you say like, please, can you come in my mouth? Please, can you? So then you can then take the lead a little bit in where he's allowing you permission, quote unquote, the dom sub kind of thing. He's allowing you permission, and then you can give him oral and let him finish in your mouth. You know, there are ways to skin this. I think it just maybe requires not imagination. That sounds fucking rude, but it's like you just have to maybe think outside the box that you're currently in. I don't think there's a problem here, really. I think talk to him, ask him what he expects, what he'd like. You know, there's nothing wrong as a dom to, you know, lay out exactly what you want and be like, well, this is what I mean by that. I'd like you to do this. I want you to fucking play with my ass more when I'm fucking you, or whatever it is, you know. And then you've got the clear understanding, the sexy, not sexy talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're golden. You know what's what. It sounds like you have a good sex life. Sounds like you want to participate.
Yeah, just need some fine tuning.
We need some fine tuning. Yeah, you happy with that one?
Yeah, I think
if you
I'm happy
do
with
want to
that.
give us more context, again, get up in them DMs.
For sure as it.
All right.
Chelsea, what on earth are you doing?
Wait 1 second.
No, we're in the middle of an episode. What are you doing?
Wait, I'm nearly done.
What?
Oh, that's better.
Oh my God. These toys from Pulse and Cocktails. Let's be honest. Sometimes the bedroom needs a little upgrade. Maybe it's time to swap meh for, oh my God. Pulse and Cocktails has everything from toys that'll make your toes curl to lingerie that'll have your partner speechless. And listen, I know what you're thinking, but what if the nosy neighbours see my parcel? No worries. They've got next day delivery in total discreet packaging. So even MI5 wouldn't know what's inside. Want to see the goods in person? They've got 16 stores across the UK. Head to pulseandcocktails.co.uk and use our code IOTK for 15% discount. And now Chelsea's finished relaxing, back to the show.
Right, we're moving on to our new segment as of last week.
Yeah.
Filthy Fortunes.
Filthy Fortunes. Okay,
now we do need a theme show song, like jingle. What was the Family Fortunes jingle?
we can't rip that off. We'll get done for copyright.
I will hum it.
I still think they might come after us. We can't afford to be sued. Okay, so we asked you guys this week, actually. And what I did was we asked the question on our Instagram. If you're not following us, get on over to Ironing Out the Kinks on Instagram. We put up a poll, and it was basically, we asked the question and then I surmised the most common answers. I've grouped a couple together because obviously they weren't word for word exactly the same.
Yeah.
But we had some really good ones. And I'm really glad that what I said, which I thought, because I commented from my personal one because I thought it was really funny, somebody else said.
Okay.
So it's on the list.
Great. Just to summarise, if you didn't listen to last week, we are literally ripping off Family Fortunes. But instead of asking questions like how many sugars do you have in your tea, we're asking sexy questions. So we ask around 100 people, usually more, a question to do with kink and sex, and I've got to guess the most common answers. Yeah,
we check it out on Instagram and we get quite a lot of feedback, so it takes me a while, and next week it's you have to go through it all.
Thrilling.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
I had to mark it all down. It was a nightmare.
I forgot the questions this week.
Well, I didn't, thank God. So, first question was, name the worst thing to say during sex.
Okay.
And just for everyone else at home, whilst Chelsea thinks, top question, if you get the top answer, the one that was most commonly said, you get 12 points. Second is 9 points. Third is 6 points. Fourth is 3 points. And fifth is 1 point.
Okay.
5 opportunities to answer this.
Your ex's name.
I'm gonna give you that. Okay. So what we got a lot was, my ex used to do it like this, or that's not how my ex used to do it, or I liked it when my ex did it like this. So I'll give you that because I'm nice.
Thank you. What was
3
it?
points. That's number 4.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 3 points.
Things you don't want to hear during sex.
Yeah.
God, so you got your ex's name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like wrong hoe?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I want to hear that.
Oh, this is so much harder than I thought
I
it
know,
would be.
you were having a go at me last week and you were like, come on, I had to edit out loads of silence last week.
Did you?
You were like, oh, this is really bad audio. This is terrible. And I was like, it's good. Just give me a fucking second to think because it's really hard. They're very obvious.
Saying like your brother's better.
I'm going to give you that as well.
Okay.
It's not your brother. This reminds me of my mum/dad. I said, you... I said, you remind me of my mum because I thought it was funny and no one else would say it. One other person said that, which got it up there. There was loads of random ones.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to give you that. That was 5th. So that's 1 point.
What's that smell?
No.
No?
No, it's not on there.
Should be. So how many guesses have I had there?
That's your 4th guess.
So I got one more guess.
You got one more guess.
Okay, my last guess. Oh God, things you don't want to hear
Come on,
during
top
sex.
answer.
Like the door opening, the front door opening or something.
No, it's verbal. What somebody would say
Oh.
during sex. What did you? Yeah.
I thought it was just things you don't want to
No,
hear.
like verbally, what somebody would say during sex, that would be like a mood killer. Name the worst thing to say during sex. I said the question.
Is that it?
I'm not going to give you that. Okay, so that's 5. So, bottom 5th, you got that. This reminds me of my mum/dad. 4th, you got that. My ex used to do it like this, or your ex's name, I'll give you that. Number 3 was I need to pee.
Okay.
Mood killer.
Is it?
Apparently. I would say you do it on me.
Yeah.
In 2nd place, are you in yet?
Oh, fucking hell.
Heartbreaking. Haven't had it happen to me, I swear to God. But yeah, that's...
Yeah, you do not want to hear that,
There's no coming back. There's no coming back. And even if I'm like not in yet, it's just an immediate, what, you think that's it?
So that was number 2?
That's number 2.
Okay.
And the top one, very obvious. Did you finish?
Oh, God. Oh, that's so obvious
It's
when
so
you
obvious.
hear them.
I know. Yeah, we had a lot of people said the top 2. And a few people said about the pee. Well, I wouldn't have gone with I need to pee, but a few people did. Okay, so next one. So you're currently on 4 points. You got an opportunity to redeem yourself here.
Fuck, because you got a lot last week.
I don't think I did.
You did, because you got top pointer.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. But you might get it here. Name a kink people are secretly into, but don't want to admit.
Okay, I've got a few here.
Go on then.
Feet.
Feet is number 4 for 3
Oh, for
points.
fuck's sake.
I know. I thought that was going to be way higher.
Okay. Anal.
No, not on the list. I think people are happy to admit they do anal.
Yeah. Piss play, water sports.
Water sports is number 3.
Okay, cool.
So that's 6 points. Come on. Come on.
Like submission.
That's not enough. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take that because I did give you the other 2. I was
So
generous.
this is my last one.
This is your last one.
Oh, what are they into?
What are people into and they don't want to admit it?
Cutkin.
That was surprisingly not on the list.
What?
I know.
Okay.
Like, that was the thing in my head. I was like, that's definitely 100% that's going to be number 1.
Yeah.
Didn't even make the list.
Right. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Thanks,
good
guys.
for you. Okay, so number 5 was domination with humiliation. So like humiliation, being dommed severely, degradation, that kind of stuff. Number 4 was feet, which you got. Number 3 was water sports / piss play, which you got. Number 2, CNC.
Oh, of course.
Of course. People don't like admitting that because there's a big taboo to it, but it's a big part of the dom sub thing. And then number 1 was choking and breath play. People don't want to admit
Guys,
that.
you don't need to be ashamed for any of these. We love it all.
Well, to us,
Yeah.
you know, I tell people that, like, I told somebody at work the other day when they asked about the podcast, and I was like, yeah, so, you know, if you haven't listened to it, like, me and Chelsea have a thing. She likes me watching me fuck other women in front of her. And this girl's head fell off. She was like, what the fuck do you mean? And I was like, exactly what I said. So to us, this stuff's normal.
Yeah.
We've done 1, 2, 3. We've done all of that. And we've never said any of those. So yeah. So you got 9, 10, you got 16 points there.
Fuck.
Not good enough.
Not a good
and you
start.
also need to come up with the answers, the results from the quiz.
Oh,
Because you
shit.
promised
I
you'd do
promised that
that.
this week.
Yeah, and we need to come up with a punishment/reward. I don't know what you want to do.
I think I'm going to put that out to people. But okay, next week, promise you guys, we will.
You're doing it straight
Luke
after
will be
this.
doing a punishment.
I think I won the quiz, but there's a lot of weeks we need to go through and check.
All right.
Okay, what's next?
We have a confession this week.
I'm really starting. Confessions before, I was like, okay, these are cool. These are fun. Now I'm loving the
I feel
confessions.
like I live the euphoria through people's confessions.
The one on Patreon that just gone, holy shit.
I forgot it already.
It's the one with the cum.
Oh, the cum
The
one.
cum one.
We liked the cum
I
one.
loved the cum one. Okay, come on then, hit me with
So, this week's confession. I come from a strict Muslim background, conservative town, northern state. But when I moved to London for work, things changed fast. My corporate office was full of hungry eyes, seniors, juniors, and everyone staring like they wanted to eat me alive. At first, I was uncomfortable, then curious. I started testing boundaries, leaving a couple of buttons undone, letting my bra strap peek through, swaying my hips just a little more. The power, addictive. One night after work drinks, I let one of the stairs follow me home. He undressed me slowly like I was something sacred, but devoured me like he'd waited for years. It was the first time I had felt free, desired, and in control. But I sometimes wonder, is this liberation or rebellion? I'm still figuring it out.
Oh, it can be both.
They're
It can
both
be
sexy.
both. Yeah. Oh, the taboo coming from that conservative type background of all the. Nobody knows I'm getting fucking railed right now. Nobody knows that I'm making myself an absolute object for people to desire.
I fucking love that she started testing boundaries at work by letting her bra strap peek through a little bit.
Because it would have been a real shame if she'd just come to London and been like, I went out and then I had sex with somebody and I feel awful. It was like a real build up, that real like, look, they want to fuck me. They want me.
I love this for her.
That, honestly, keep that going, okay? Keep that energy because life's too short.
For sure.
Life is too short. I love that. Oh, God. The confessions I live for. And my heart is up. I check my heart rate. Yeah, 160.
Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. Oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. That was fucking incredible. I love that.
Oops, wrong hole.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, fine, let's do it. Whatever.
Shut up. We're moving on. So I get home from work, long day, I'm exhausted, stressed, and frankly, horny. The house is empty, the dogs are fed, and you know what? I deserve a little solo celebration. So I sit on the couch, pants down around my ankles, phone in one hand, and you know where the other one is. I'm halfway through my me time, right at the point where you've committed, no turning back, the video's loaded, and your brain's already gone into aeroplane mode. Suddenly, a message comes through. It's a text from my wife. It says, "Hey babes, just a heads up, the dog cam is still on. I can see you." Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to jump off the couch, pull your trousers up and preserve your dignity all at the same time, but let me tell you, it's physically impossible. In that moment, my soul left my body. I looked up slowly, and there it was, that little glowing blue light on the dog cam, silently judging me, watching, recording, streaming to my wife's phone. I scrambled to open the app. I couldn't remember the password. My fingers were slippery with panic. I'm trying to defuse a bomb. Eventually, I managed to turn it off. Probably 5 seconds after she's seen more than enough. And the worst part, after all the chaos, yes, I still finished.
That is not what I was expecting.
I love the, "Hey babe, I can see you."
That's exactly it. It was the same. If it was like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" It'd be like, get a grip. He's just having a wank. Leave him alone. But the, "Hey babe." just a heads up. I can watch you and I can see it. You little pervert.
This is totally something you would do.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't stop though. I'd be like, get ready for a show, babe. I'm going to make this weird. I've got a belt around my neck.
dancing.
Yeah.
His dick out.
That's exactly it. Do you know what I was thinking it was going, or where I thought it was going?
Where
I've been before.
Okay.
Dick in hand. Some like questionable video that I'm going to instantly like purge my phone when I'm done, maybe burn it. I don't know. And I'm getting close. Text comes through. Mum.
Do you not put your phone on Do Not Disturb?
No. I'm not thinking about that.
I have a ritual when I'm watching porn on my phone.
I'm thinking about like, how much am I going to spray? Like I've been edging. That's the thing. When I masturbate, I edge for ages. I like to do that. And then, mum. I've had a phone call from my mum before. I had to decline it. And you know what my mum's like? She just keeps ringing.
Ring again.
Yeah, she's like, excuse me? I'm sorry. What do you think you're fucking doing? I've been in really important meetings that she's known about. She's known that I'm doing something really important. She just ring back to back to back. And I'm like, phone's on vibrate. Fuck's sake. I'm really sorry about this. And then I get like 6 text messages. Are you okay? Are you alive? What's going on? I'm like, fucking calm down, woman.
Leave me alone, mum. I'm having
Trying
a wank.
to have a wank. Exactly.
No, my ritual, Do Not Disturb mode, because I know 1,000% my family chat's going to pop off.
Yeah, that's incognito. A busy chat. I go incognito, yeah. But I just don't put it in Do Not Disturb.
I don't understand people who don't do incognito.
They are living life on the... They probably just watch normal porn, to be honest. They're probably not worried like we are.
Well, no, I've had a couple of instances in my life where I've been with someone and they're going to show me something on their phone and they've typed P and it's come up Pornhub and I'm like, why are you not watching incognito?
Do you know, I think I might have told this before, but I'll tell it again.
Go on.
That I'm so cautious with stuff like that because of that same kind of embarrassment. I don't want to do that. But one time I was in, it might have been H&M, and I bought quite a lot of clothes, and it was over £100 worth. And the guy was like, "You're right. If you do this this thing, you get 10% off." I was like, "Cool. All right. What do I have to do?" He's like, "All you have to do, scan the QR code. It'll take you to Twitter, and then you follow us from there." You follow us, show me you followed us, and I had to do something else like subscribe to the emails or whatever the fuck it was. Cool, yeah, no worries. Scan the QR code, and I'm waiting for it to load, and I'm like, I've got it showing. It was me, I think it was one of my exes. It was years ago. One of my exes and this guy. We're looking at my screen, and then it just comes up like UK MILFs getting banged, and I was like, and where I had been, I'd just come back from somewhere, and where I had been, the internet wouldn't allow you to access porn, but Twitter's the workaround, or used to be. Now it's Reddit, but it used to be. So I was like, I just held it there and looked at it, looked at him, and he looked away, and I looked at the girl I was with, and she just like rolled her eyes. And I was like, we all know what it is. We all know what this is. And then it loaded H&M, and I was like, cool, look, mate, I've followed it. Cool, can I have the 10% off now, please? Ruined my fucking day. But yeah, I remember
Can
that.
I say this about your friend?
Yeah?
Will he care?
Who? Just say it, I don't care.
Okay, so...
If it's bad, I'll let it out. I'll give him a shout afterwards. I don't know who you were talking about, though.
Luke's friend came round to ours to watch the UFC.
Yeah?
You know where this is going?
No?
Because we have the capabilities to watch
because I have UFC
when it's on. And it wasn't working. We couldn't, don't know what was happening, but we couldn't get it to work. So Luke's friend was like, I'll find a dodgy website on my phone and then I can stream my phone to the TV. And we was like, yeah, cool. He was like, yeah, wicked, cool, I found one. And in that like interim period where we was waiting for it to load so he could full screen the UFC, he had his little browser tabs open on his mobile, and I can't remember what it was now. It was like cum shots or something like that. And you didn't clock it. And then when he left, I was like, he left his porn open. It was on our fucking TV.
I spoke to him. I texted him right afterwards. He went, yeah, so.
Oh, yeah.
I think he referenced the podcast. He was like, well, you guys are worried about that. I was like, I didn't even see it, mate.
I don't care. I just...
Yeah.
Yeah, we just, no one commented on it.
Next one.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I forgot what we're doing here.
We've still got a show to do here.
Okay, good, because it's the last one.
Okay.
So, guys, I had my first threesome.
Nice.
Yay.
Nice.
Me, my boyfriend, and this gorgeous girl we met on a night out.
Ooh.
Tattoos, red lipstick, total chaos energy.
Is that you?
No. Let's call her Luna.
Okay.
Okay. Everything started hot and heavy. Clothes coming off, limbs starting to tangle. The level of energy that makes you feel like an athlete.
Okay, yeah, I got that.
Yeah. We're all on the bed, switching positions, laughing and moaning, living our best lives. Luna gets on top of my boyfriend. I'm kissing her neck and she's riding him like she's trying to summon a demon. Then, mid-bounce, she freezes. She farts. Right
No.
against his stomach, a loud, unapologetic fart.
What?
Time stops. She looks over her shoulder, horrified. But the best part? My boyfriend tried to be supportive and goes, "It's okay, bodies do stuff," and then proceeds to squeeze out one himself like he's trying to lighten the mood.
Why would he do?
That was it. Once the room turned into a fart symphony, we were done. No one finished. She left. We ordered pizza and never spoke to her again.
You fucking idiot.
He's trying to make her feel comfortable.
That's not how you do it. You just go, don't worry, carry on, just keep riding me. You don't go, hang on. Now we're even. Jesus. The creative writing course that people have been on, I want to go on.
I know. I think
I
it's
love
starting to
it.
snowball because we've had
I
a
know.
couple and everyone's like, hold my drink.
That's literally
Watch
it.
me.
I feel like people are like, I can tell my story in a fucking mega wild way.
Yeah. And then we had one the other week was like, male, 30, girlfriend, 30.
No.
We
it's-
had sex.
No, yeah, it's male, 37, wife, 2 years younger. Okay.
We're kinky.
We do things. Okay. You're ready for Would You Rather?
Yeah, I'm going to pucker up.
I can see you, working those lips. Should we name's not Luna on the side? We know a Luna. We're going to have her on soon.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have her on
course.
the Patreon.
No, I did not fart on someone's stomach yet.
Still time. There's still time. Later. Okay, so would you rather
No. Sorry.
rather fart on my stomach? No, so I struggled with these a little bit, I'll be honest. I struggled with what I came up with, but would you rather date someone who insists on role playing every single time, or date someone who talks dirty in a terrible accent that turns you off?
Oh, God. Well, it's going to have to be the first
well,
one.
no, think about it. You want to just have sex, it's got to be role play.
But
So you remember we had that lunchtime session the other day?
Mm.
Can't do that. It has to be role play.
we can role play during that. I'll just role play being a slut and you can role play being a virgin.
No. What I want is to be on a construction site and you be a female construction worker.
Yeah, but if I don't want to be turned off during sex every time, I'd much rather finish than not.
You can put headphones in. But what, are you going to finish when I'm like, tell me about that brick masonry you've just done? On the
Oh,
scaffolding.
yeah, the concrete and the bricks just
Oh, that's going to do it for you, is it? That's going to make you come.
fell off the roof and hit the ground with a big bang.
No, okay, I'm not feeling this anymore. I want you to be a double glazing salesperson and I'm going to be the customer.
Both window panes were tight up against each other.
Okay, is that not going to cause some condensation? What is the actual millimetre of the gap between the two panes?
We want the condensation because we want it to be soaking wet.
I actually don't know because
Don't say I'm not fucking smashing this.
I'm saying this is my role play. I need you to convince me. I don't want you to just, every time I do a would you rather, you just go, first one. Or, second one. I want you to ponder. You make me ponder. And that's what makes me struggle with would you rather so much. I'm like, I need this woman to ponder. And I'm like, it can't be anything about her porn history because she doesn't give a fuck. It can't be anything to do with her family because she doesn't give a fuck. What do I do? What do I do? So,
You
yeah.
can't phase me.
Fine.
Oh, that's like a dangerous position to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'll find something. I'll go extreme.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm looking forward
So
to
you're
it.
still going to go with the role play every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you just did. All right, well, that was a brilliant would you rather. That created
What are
loads of
you
time to
going
talk.
with?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it anymore. There's no point.
You're going with the second one.
Would I? I would probably go with the second one.
Really?
Because it would make me last a lot longer. I could like go to absolute pound town and be like, oh God, this just puts me off.
So
But I can
could you
just
in role
take out.
play?
It's too much effort for me sometimes.
Yeah, but she's going to turn you off.
And what would you do for morning sex?
She's going to turn you off.
No, but I'll just
Morning
keep,
snacks.
I will snacks.
I will role play as a sleepy little bear.
We do that every time, babe. No, I'd still think I'd go with the accent, you know. And then, but then also it'd be like I'm gonna gag you, or I'm gonna hate fuck you because it's pissing me off how much I love you. But then when we're having sex, you just ruin it for me. I'm gonna just hate fuck them, you know.
Yeah.
Or just be like, shut up, give me your throat.
Fair enough.
You know,
It's easier for you to do it that way.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I don't really want to see you with a gag every time we have sex.
That's
So
fair.
like,
Yeah, once or twice, but not every time.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else to add?
Oh no, that's good for me.
Okay. Guys, head over to iotk.fun and give us your submissions. Submit to us.
Submit.
I don't know why we don't play on that more. Submit to us.
I've played on it so many times on
Not
my
heavily
social
enough,
media.
though.
All right.
So head over there, give us your submissions, and head over to Ironing Out the Kinks on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and we've also got a Reddit, Instagram. What?
Twitter.
Don't ever say Twitter again. And on Twitter, that's correct. Yeah, and anything else you can send it to us. We fucking love hearing from you guys. But that's it for this week. So thank you very much, and get onto the Patreon.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.